Hello, everyone. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to Mania today, the brighter, louder, and more inspirational side of the Shivering Isles. Now, I understand some of you are here today after your rotation in dementia, so welcome and congratulations on making it through your risk assessment alive. I'm here to provide some useful information about our department that will hopefully help set you up for success during your time with us. So let's get into it. Here in Mania, we value creativity, individuality, and relentless, unfiltered expression. That means that you're encouraged to scream, cry, laugh maniacally in the palace corridors, and create beautiful art from shredded soul gems. Feel free to partake in any or all of these activities during your rotation. Now, our capital is called Bliss, and it's home to acclaimed artists, volatile intellectuals, and at least one pair of sentient calipers. It is customary to paint your front door weekly to reflect your inner transformation, and please do ask the citizens to tell you about theirs. They are going to love that. Now, you may have heard rumors about Duke Thadon stepping down, and yes, while it is true that he's joined the Order in an act of spiritual and logistical betrayal, the department remains committed to celebrating joy, indulgence, and spontaneous shrieking. Until a new leader is named, strategic decision making will be handled by a decentralized coalition of artists, bartenders, and unpaid interns, with HR and legal providing gentle guardrails to prevent total collapse. Any questions so far? Yes, great question. No, there is no official chain of command. That's not the result of the Duke's departure, though. It's just general policy. Anything else? Amazing. If no other questions, happy to give you some time back. Please enjoy the palace and make sure to check out the back garden. That's where the staff gets together after hours to enjoy the company-sponsored Greenmote and the worst wine you've ever tried. See you there.
Hi, thanks for having us. We're here to gather differing perspectives in the realm of madness so we can offer a balanced picture to audiences curious about the Shivering Isles. Would you mind telling us a bit about your department?
Mania. Yes. Welcome to the right side of the realm, both metaphorically and cartographically. Mania is the vibrant, euphoric, utterly exhausting half of the Shivering Isles. We specialize in grand ideas, dazzling excess, and sleep deprivation masquerading as passion. The air here is thick with inspiration, but also pollen. So if you have allergies, do take precautions. Until recently, our department was led by Duke Thadon, a visionary creative and a long-term Greenmote enthusiast, whose leadership style could best be described as absentee with dramatic flair. Unfortunately, he defected to the Order, which is both deeply disappointing and a severe breach of contract. We are treating it as an active compliance investigation. At the moment, we are operating without formal leadership. Lord Shiogorath has encouraged a let's just wait and see what happens approach to succession planning. And so far, what's happened is a surge in collaborative poetry and 3 separate attempts at a spontaneous monarchy. In terms of workplace culture, Mania values expression, experimentation, and the ability to deliver a 3-hour monologue on the symbolic significance of cheese. The mood is upbeat, the lighting is aggressive, and the dress code is yes.
Why did your Duke defect? That must have been destabilizing.
Yes, but not much more destabilizing than what we usually have happening around here. I'm not entirely sure why he decided to join the Order, but there are a few theories floating around the palace. Some people assume it has to do with his stature. Thadon was always sensitive about his height and may have joined the winning side to bolster his ego. Others think that the drugs finally pushed him over the edge after years of abuse. I personally think it was the new Duchess of Dementia that was the final straw. Rumor has it that Thadon and Syl had a thing, and when the Breton removed Syl's heart in order to replace her, it broke his. Also, in general, the two never got along. Apparently, she left their first meeting muttering something about cannibals and doing business with drug addicts, and, things just soured from there.
That's unfortunate. So what now? Are you working on replacing the Duke?
Well, not really, to be perfectly honest, but I do think we'll have to start sourcing soon, which in itself is unusual because normally this is all handled via the Ritual of Accession. The acting Duke or Duchess very rarely just quit outright. More often, we hold the mandatory end of tenure party, followed by a bloodbath, and the new head of department is in office the next day. Now, as I mentioned, I did ask our Lord Sheogorath, what should we do in this situation? And he just wants us to, leave it alone for a while and see how the events unfold. That means that it's mostly myself and legal holding everything together, which I do believe is unsustainable in the long run. No one is holding court and the requests keep piling up. We have to ritually torch them at least twice a week. I've started discreetly asking around the palace to see if anybody would be interested in the position, but people here know full well that the job involves frequent hallucinations, assassination attempts, and mandatory poetry readings. I think I'm going to have to start looking externally for candidates, pending the Mad God's blessing, of course.
And how's morale within the House of Mania during all this?
About the same as usual. Some folks are shaken, mostly the ones that were close with the Duke, but that's to be expected. Others are honestly just descending into chaotic, flamboyant entropy, which I suspect is what they wanted to do all along. Really, it's only a crisis for myself and the folks over at Legal because the Grey March dates were just confirmed and we're trying to wrap up everything that needs addressing by end of era. We really didn't need to wrangle a headless department of manic creatives on top of all that. Lord Sheogorath, thank you so much for making the time. I know things have been spiraling lately, but I just wanted to really quickly sync on the next steps for filling the Duke of Mania vacancy. Tragic, I know. I know. One moment he was here, high on Greenmote and ego, and the next, poof, converts to the order. Says he needs structure. Yes, we told him that structure is what bones are for. He just wouldn't listen. So, since the ritual of accession has been officially waived this cycle, I propose we proceed with a traditional sourcing process. And I just wanted to align with you on the role expectations before I draft the job description. Okay. So, must enjoy cheese, loathe butterflies, and ideally speak fluent body language, even if the limbs are non standard. Got it. You want someone who's been chased out of at least 3 cities for poetic excess. Background in experimental dance, cartography, or corporate law. All right. That's a wide net, but I'll cast it. And for the reporting structure, should they report to you directly or to the moon? Or the concept of noise if the moon is unavailable? Copy that. Final question. For comp expectations, should we stick with the symbolic gold chalice and rotating wardrobe stipend or a basket of bees and the title of Assistant Duke in Peril to keep them humble? Got it. Okay, I think I have everything I need. I'll get this posted to the portal and reach out once we've sourced a few qualified candidates. Thank you again, sir. This has been very illuminating.
What exactly is Greenmote?
Yes, Greenmote. Imagine if joy were a powder. Now imagine that powder was made from night blooming hallucinogenic fungi harvested under extreme duress by unpaid prisoners. That's Greenmote. It's a psychoactive stimulant, a performance enhancer, and in small doses, an excellent way to enjoy your lunch break. In larger doses, it's still fun, but less survivable. It was the favored substance of our Duke Thadon, who insisted it helped him connect with the deeper patterns of the universe, usually right before collapsing onto the garden bench and declaring war on clouds. The substance is illegal, deadly, culturally revered, and available in the break room if you know which cupboard to look in. To summarize, Greenmote is to mania what passive aggressive memos are to dementia, a completely normalized hazard wrapped in institutional tradition. Please always consult your manager before microdosing. Unless you are the manager, in which case, please make sure your succession plan is ready before partaking. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's Mania Department All Hands. If you're wondering whether this meeting is mandatory, the answer is both yes and how dare you question my authority. Let's get into it. As you may have heard, Duke Thadon has formally defected to the order. Yes, we are disappointed, and yes, it's an HR nightmare. We are currently treating his exit as a severe breach of contract and also reality. The Ritual of Accession has been waived by divine shrug, which means we are currently operating without a department head. One intern has declared herself the interim duchess and is only responding to telepathic communication. We are choosing not to interfere at this time. Until formal leadership is reinstated, please maintain business as usual. Speaking of which, we have a few operational notes to cover. Number one, court sessions are suspended until further notice. In the meantime, citizen requests will be ritually torched once a week. If you'd like to help out with the torching, please sign up with Wide Eye. She has the sheet. And number two, a reminder that the use of Greenmote during business hours is still prohibited unless you're in legal facilities or creative. Please refrain from using until 5 p.m., after which time free Greenmote is available in the garden for all employees and interns. Enjoy responsibly. Finally, on the Grey March prep. The dates have been confirmed and should be on your calendar right now. Unfortunately, we won't be able to approve any PTO requests that overlap with the Grey March. Please cancel all graduations, scheduled C-sections, deaths in the family, and beach resort bookings if they fall within this window. Separately, please submit the following by end of era: your department's poetry compliance inventory, a list of staff you suspect might be order sympathizers, and your preferred transformation shape in case of spontaneous metaphysical restructuring. That's it for me. As always, the HR office is open for questions, concerns, and impromptu haikus about succession failure. Now back to work, or whatever other duties you got assigned today.